You presumed that when you saw me as a Black patient laying in that bed, that my life was less important.
You're listening to maternal expert and attorney Bianca Dickerson-Williams. She's a mother who suffered catastrophic life-altering injuries during the delivery of her second child. She's now speaking out, and she wants to help Black mothers all over the country.
And whether you thought about it or not, your level of care and treatment for me went down. Is that deliberate or is that not deliberate? I think that, we have to have these conversations, because as a byproduct of that is that we're walking in and we've made judgments now about this particular individual. And those judgments that we've made, whether we were intending to do them or not, have caused our death rates and our injury rates to skyrocket, and we're the only race that's up there. So what does that mean? How do we then explain the statistical data coming out of the Center for Disease Control and the Department of Health and Human Services? We're 6 times more likely to die or be injured in childbirth.
Black women are more likely to die or be injured in the delivery room than any other race. We are at war in the delivery room in hospitals all across America. We wanted to bring this to light, and Bianca Dickerson-Williams wants you to call her 310-579-9896. That's 310-579-9896. This is a crisis, and if you need to talk to somebody, talk to Bianca. 310-579-9896.
This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to This is the G Podcast, special episode, very special episode. And I'm telling you, man, these are 3 of the best fellows in the world, man. I'm glad to have these fellows as part of my life. Because how many years has it been? I'm gonna start with you, G. How many years has it been, man?
It's been 40 plus.
40 plus, man. But first of all, we call him Slick. But I'm going to give his government name, not the whole name. Don't worry about it. James in the building. James, say hello to the people, man.
Hey, people. How you doing?
Yeah, and of course you heard from G. Hey, first of all, where you from?
I'm from Springville, Alabama.
Springville. And you got G, Gary from?
Mobile, Alabama, the Port City.
And I haven't introduced this young man yet, man, but I'm here to tell you, man, supportive of the podcast, one of my biggest supporters of the podcast. Everybody is, though. But this guy, Tim, where you from, Tim?
I grew up in North Alabama, but originally I come from Chicago.
Yeah, you can hear it. You hear that, Chicago, y'all? Yeah. Tim is in the building, but we kind of post homecoming, and I said I didn't know what I was going to do. I had the opportunity to hang with these fellas, man. Thank you, Slick, for the beautiful accommodations. Y'all, what do y'all think, man? What y'all think about the Airbnb? Was it cool?
Oh, man, we had a fantastic time. The Airbnb was nice, clean, spacious.
Yeah. What you think, Tim? Was it cool?
Yeah, I think everything was cool. No qualms. Everything was good. It's great seeing you guys, so all good.
Why y'all being so polite, man?
Right, because let me be the bearer of bad news. We need a bigger refrigerator. We need more than one bathroom.
That's it. Get your money, Slick. Slick ain't lying. Slick's like, hey, you ain't got but one refrigerator? It is small. Yeah, it was cool, though. It was cool, man. But, I'm just really, man, it's been 40 years since we left Troy. And G, I will say this, man. G has been the one between G, but really primarily G, and then, Slick and Tim has been. But to just pull us all together every year, man. And we're called the Smurfs for a lot of folks who haven't heard me talk about this on the podcast. Can you tell the story of how we came together, G?
Well, my estimation of it, we were walking across the court one morning after leaving breakfast, and a good friend of ours named Tim Reese, who was on the track team together, he said, man, look at those guys all walking in a line like a bunch of blue Smurfs. And it was about 12 of us all together. We all were freshmen, and we just had a cohesiveness together. And from that day on, we've been partners.
Yeah. And it was cool, man. I mean, and G really, man, through all of our text, we're on the text group, through email, has been able to, for the most part, just about all of us. I mean, just a few of us are really missing, man. And it's just amazing, man, to see or have seen the fellows this year after 40 years. And a lot of them, a lot of fellas really look great. Really, it's not about the look, man. It's about, your mind and your health. And we all here, man. And that's amazing. One of the things, man, it's tough for black men because we don't always stick together, and for our mental health, man, for us to be strong up against some bullshit. And, we have to stick together and kind of talk stuff through, man. So, one of the things, man, it's always good for us to get together and we talk stuff out as well. So, I know they're kind of quiet. They're quiet as hell now. I'm telling y'all, with a microphone is not rolling. I'm gonna have to pretend the mic is off.
Oh, okay. No, we don't want to put you through that. We're gonna let the people have it the way it is.
But it is. Let me tell y'all. Let me say this though, for full disclosure. It's the morning we're leaving. So everybody's kind of drained. We probably, I don't know, we should have done this last night at 3 a.m. We went to 3 a.m.
When everybody was talkative.
Everybody was talkative, but man, everybody's really just waking up, getting ready to leave. And I wanted to do something to really put a cap on a great weekend, man. And it's just been phenomenal, dude. But Slick, man, thank you, dude. And this is not the end of the podcast because I got to ask y'all about Alabama before we leave, before we shut this thing down. Because since I'm in front of 3 Bama fans, or at least 2, at least 2 Bama fans.
That's right, 2 Bama fans. So 2 Bama fans. We got 1 FSU fan in the house.
Yeah, I do have to ask about which part. You raise your hand, Slick. What's up?
I'm Bama to the core.
Oh, okay, to the core.
The core.
So at least 1 core Bama fan. So before we leave, Troy, Tim, you used to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty avid Bama fan.
Roll Tide. Yeah, there you go. But overall, man, what y'all think about the weekend, man? What you think about? And, just be straight up. I mean, well, okay, now. I know you on the roll, Slick. This morning, controversy arose. So we can talk. That's another podcast, an investigative podcast.
Slick kind of modest, man. Slick did do a big part with the tailgaters, helping set up the events, man. He's the historian of the whole Smurfs because he know everybody. He just about can put you in contact with whoever you want to know and can't find, and definitely where you can go to have a good time.
That's true. You knew everybody, man. We came in Friday night. We went to the Alumni House, which is across from the football field, right? We walk in, Slick knows everybody from the class of 76 all the way back. And you didn't know,
Yeah.
You knew everybody.
Here's what happened. We was at the Alumni House.
Yeah.
And the older people, the 70s, they even know who the Smurfs are.
What? And like you said, you gave the history behind the Smurfs. Yeah. But your sister was here too, right?
Yeah, my sister, Karen Yvette Bryant, they called her Lady Pole. She graduated in 79, 80, and she came here in 76. And a lot of them know her and remember her, and that's how they greet me. We have a good connection.
Good, because it was great, man. You walked in, you knew everybody in the building. Slick, you knew everybody in the building.
Yeah, because I come back a lot.
Okay, so when was the first time you really started coming back?
I started coming back 2010.
Okay.
Almost every year after that.
Gotcha. And is it getting bigger?
It's getting better.
Yeah.
And of course it got big, then it dropped off.
Right.
But last night the alumni ball was great.
Yeah.
We had a good turnout. It was probably, I don't know, maybe 100 people, 150 people. Mm-hmm. So everybody got up, danced, had a great time.
We don't have anybody. Well, you're part of the tailgaters. Well, you kind of know the tailgater story,
right?
And because you interact and you do things for them, can you give some history on the tailgaters?
It was originated with like a guy named Roger Robinson and Lister. What's Lister's last name?
Okay, from Mobile.
So they kind of started in the hotel room.
Wow.
And everybody came back, and it wasn't a big party. They went in somebody's room and they hung out and over the weekend.
Right.
And then it developed into what you see now.
Right. And for you, like you said, your sister was a part of it, right?
Yeah, she was one of the early people in the area that everybody, really respected and liked. Mm-hmm. And she just had that personality. And that's how I remember all the older heads. And it was great seeing them as well.
Yeah. And Tim, you came down from Chicago. Tim, when was your first year coming back?
2008.
By 2008?
Well, basically, I came back because the fellas were getting together. I don't know. We had been out of Troy about 20 years or so. So it's just an opportunity to see you guys being in the Midwest. You guys don't travel, so I don't get to see you too often. So I
came up to Chicago now.
You did. You're the only one. And I'll come anytime you fellas come, you know.
Yeah. But Tim, you came back. We did 2008. Harold, myself, right. my buddy, my turntable brother, we did an event back in 2008 for our, I guess it was almost like the 25th kind of.
Yeah.
Of us doing like our first parties on campus. And man, I mean, that was a decent event.
Banks and Baco back in the building.
Yeah, it was.
We all enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was fun, but no money. But no, it was I guess a break even. But it was just really just kind of did it for just to make sure people had something to do. But Slick, man, we talked about this, man. The fact that we're on a white campus. Let's be real. We're in the minority. Probably definitely still in the minority, and you have to bring your Black alumni back to remember, because as we get older, in a lot of cases, not everybody's going to come back. But it's good to see Black alumni come back on a majority white campus and continue, because a lot of folks don't want to come back. So you feel it's going to be able to sustain. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I mean, 40 for us and 40 plus for a lot of people who continue to come back. It can continue. What do you think?
As long as we have the older people that was affiliated with the university back then.
Yeah.
As long as they're part of it, it'll still continue to happen.
Okay.
But the younger, we're not drawing many of the younger crowd.
Yeah. Why do you think?
I think they want to do their own thing. They don't want to be around people that are older.
Yeah.
Because if even the older people, they have their separate area.
Right.
Over by the alumni house, that group back there, that's the older group.
Yeah.
And then you got the alumni house, and then you had a tailgate. And so it's like three different groups that really, three major groups that participate every year at homecoming.
And I think one of the things is that we have to remember is not only to continue, but to continue and contribute. We have to follow the path that's set and laid, so the younger guys know you didn't establish this. You only became a part of it because of what the older people contributed to, because things were so different for us in the 80s than they are now. And what we had is what we had. It was all of us together, just a small amount.
I want to talk about the unity that we have, and the fact that we came back and so many. I was really surprised, man. So many of our Smurf brothers, and really, because we were really a basketball team, intramural basketball team. We became friends, we hung out, and we kept in touch, and we've kept in touch for 40 years. So, and again, Tim's a big part of that. These guys are a big part of that because, they do things to contribute to make sure that, I guess you say, the legacy, man, keeps going. And you're right, Slick, man. I think a lot of it, man, it's like the music. There's a difference when you talk about the generation today versus the generation then, because if they go to a party, the music's going to be completely different at a younger party. And the vibe is going to be a lot different because of how we party versus how they party. So for everybody to have a good time, sometimes you maybe have to separate at the party, but you don't have to separate at the tailgate. Still do the tailgate, still do the football. And then when you go party, maybe it may be a little bit difficult for the people in their 60s and 50s to jam with the people in their 20s. That might be a little rough. But again, man, I wanted to come on here and say thanks first and foremost for the weekend. Again, Slick, man, just a phenomenal job, brother.
I think Slick did a great job. I mean, everything turned out great. Maybe just as a tip, going forward, maybe they could do something if room permits to have, the graduates of the 80s, 90s, 2010s, and then you can kind of collaborate or get together with the people that was at least in your decade.
Great idea.
Might be a little more camaraderie, and you won't be as separated in terms of generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. G, you got anything else to say about homecoming, man?
Well, I just want to say to all the Smurfs that didn't make it or weren't able to or had other prior engagements, we love you. We're going to catch you next time. Homecoming was amazing.
Yeah, big time. Slick, anything else about homecoming?
Yeah, I enjoyed everything. I never got off the dance floor.
Never.
And so I met a lot of new people. It was really good.
Yeah, all right, that's enough of homecoming. Troy lost. No, I'm sorry. Troy won. Troy did win.
All I saw was 37-0.
Yeah,
it was like 37-0. Big win for Troy. But let's move on, man. I do want to ask y'all before we leave. Alabama, Nick Saban, the legacy. Saban and Kirby Smart, okay? Of course, Smart was under Saban. Am I right?
Yeah. Right.
And the reason I'm asking this question is because I got Bama legacy fans in the building. And this conversation's had, because I'm in Georgia, about Kirby Smart being under Saban. Now people are comparing his legacy, his new legacy, and saying that he's going to take over as the greatest coach of all time. Whereas a lot of people feel Saban is the current best coach of all time.
I agree with that.
What do you think? Go ahead, G.
I agree with that because it was some great coaches, man. Vince Dooley, Bobby Bowden, Eddie Robinson. You know, these some great coaches. But what Nick Saban did in the short time that he's been a head coach, it's unmatched. It's unmatched.
Okay. What do you think, Slick?
I hate Nick Saban. I never liked him.
I don't have my sound effect, so
and, I don't like it. I don't like his attitude.
Okay.
And and he running a lot of the players away.
Okay.
I mean, look, they all in that transfer portal.
Yeah.
The depth that Alabama used to have, they don't have.
What about you, Tim?
Well, I think as a coach, I think Nick's okay. I think Kirby's okay as well, but I think now you have to look at the portal. The portal and the landscape of college football is changing. I think obviously as a coach, when you're able to get tutelage under somebody such as Nick, there's no doubt that Kirby has got pointers and stuff from Nick. It remains to be seen if he'll upend him as one of the greatest ever, but I think both of them in their own right is great coaches, but it remains to be seen if he'll unseat Saban as the best.
Yeah. If he wins the third national championship this year, will he unseat?
I don't think he'll unseat him, but I definitely think he'll be in the conversation as
he'll definitely close the gap.
Yeah, he need to get up to 6.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
To replace him, Nick got 6.
Yeah.
And I think Nick Saban's the kind of coach, and I'm not a Bama fan by no stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But he probably could have went anywhere, Auburn, Texas, Notre Dame, USC, and had a national championship within 3 years and been the only coach that had 5-6 national championships at 5-6 different schools.
Yeah. So true. Yeah. All right, one more question, man. Deion Sanders and what's going on with Colorado. I'll start with you, Tim, first, and I'll just go around. What are your thoughts, man? Where do you think this is headed, man?
Well, I think Deion is energetic, man. I think he has that magnetic personality. He relates to the kids very well because he's not as far removed as a lot of the other coaches. Plus the fact that he was in the NFL. A lot of guys aspire to yearn from him. So I think Deion if he continues to coach, he's going to be a force to reckon with.
Okay. What about you, G?
Oh, man, I love the idea. He's a player's coach by all stretch of the imagination. Deion been great for college football because the buzz, for those even who don't like him, they want to see him lose so bad, but he finds a way to get his players motivated and to get them back in the game. Even with that bad loss, they came back and played respectable the next game, closed the gap. Deion, keep doing what you're doing. I think y'all will make a bowl bid.
Yeah. What about you, Slick?
Yeah, I like how Prime, we call him Prime. Mm-hmm. I like how he relates to his athletes and how his athletes relate to him. Mm-hmm. I like how he allow them to be their personality show. Mm-hmm. and the blackness in it. I love it.
Yeah. And we do. I mean, if he was sitting here right now, I would be saying nothing other than Coach Prime, because knowing Dion, you know what I'm saying?
FSU.
Yeah, definitely. Going back, he's. I hope, and this is a question for y'all too, man. You ever see him going to the pros? You ever see him becoming a pro coach?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
Why not, Slick?
He won't relate to the pros.
And I don't think he has the fun that he having now.
You don't think so?
I see it in his eyes. You can just see how he loved the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just there.
Even what's going on in Chicago, Tim? Y'all wouldn't take Dion in Chicago with the Bears?
And I think he relates better to the college kids, because once the pros, and with the NIL, the college kids are starting to make money, but the pros, I just think it's a different approach to the game. It's all business. It's not as much teaching. It's probably more strategic. And I don't think he fares well, personally.
So you don't think Coach Prime could come into a Chicago organization, considering what it's been going through with Justin Fields, and maybe motivate them to go in a different direction?
I think it's all about the coordinators. I mean, a lot of times management, and I'm not sure coaching doesn't.
Look at Tim. Slick getting close to the mic.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if coaching doesn't kind of go back, and people reach back into the network and they get the GMs and these coordinators, but a lot of times they don't have the breadth of experience. I think it's the Bears' problems are much deeper. I think it's management. I don't think it's all on-field personnel.
I got you. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I don't think Coach Prime coaching style relates well to the pros.
Okay.
Because he's authoritative, and they don't play that in the pros.
Yeah, you're right. It's like you can tell the kids what to do, but a lot of these pros are like, you can't tell me, talk to my agent.
Right.
Yeah. What are you about to say something, G?
Yeah, I was going to say, because you look back, Nick Saban, he didn't fare well.
Mm-hmm.
Several other coaches didn't fare well. It's a different monster, the NFL, than it is with those kids, because those kids are trying to do all they can to get to the NFL, and they're willing to take any information you give them to succeed.
Yeah. And let me say this before we go, because I'm going to ask one more question, then we're going to wrap. But I want to speak to these guys and their athletic background, because I played high school basketball. James, Slick, give a little bit about your background real quick before you came to Troy.
Well, in high school, I played basketball, baseball, ran track, and football.
And you actually got a scholarship. You were scholarship at Troy doing what?
I came and ran track.
You ran track.
Yes.
What did you run?
I mainly did field events. I did a long jump, triple jump, high jump, and he let me run a 100 meters.
Okay, that's Coach O.
Yeah.
The legendary Coach O. Right.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, G?
W.P. Davidson, Mobile, Alabama, 6-time state champ. I'm from Mobile. We're one of the best track teams around the nation, thanks to one of the best coaches ever, Sam Pettaway. I played football, ran track. My events was like Slick. I ran the field events, a long jump, and one of the first black pole vaulters in Alabama, definitely in Mobile. And I wasn't great at it, but I had a desire to succeed. And that's about my story.
Yeah, he made, and here you were ranked among, in what area of track and field? You were ranked.
Well, we had some great long jumpers. Eddie Bell and Roscoe Thomas. Yeah, Carlos
Mackay.
Yeah, Carlos Mackay. We had 4, 5, 6 great jumpers. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know this, but at one time Coach O called me in his office and said, you like number 3.
I was number 3.
I was number 7 on the all-time jumping list.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great time. We had a great track team for a Division II team. Mm-hmm. And we all gelled together pretty good.
Okay. And Tim, you came here, more so, was it academic scholarship or tell them about your background? and how you got here.
Well, I played football and basketball in high school. Actually, I was recruited as a football player, but not by Troy. I was actually going to West Georgia. And I got a leadership scholarship from Troy, so I just decided to come to Troy. So that leadership scholarship is probably what brought me here.
Same thing with me. Yeah, we were on the same one. And you were on the practice squad, though, right?
Yeah, I participated in the football team for about 1.5 years, and then, it was almost time to graduate. So I decided to give it up, but it was a great experience. I probably should have went into coaching because I didn't realize I had the love for athletics that I had, and people kind of dissuaded me from going into coaching, but for myself, I think I would have been a natural at it.
Great coach of the Smurfs, 2-time champs.
2-time champs. There you go. And the other thing, though, when you were here, just real quick, and I want to ask y'all about your pro football pick for 2023. You were on the practice squad when Chan Gailey was here?
Correct.
Am I correct?
Correct.
And if y'all don't know the name Chan Gailey actually won a championship. Now, how many at Troy? Did he win?
3, I think.
Yeah.
They won 2.
2 at Troy.
84, 87.
Yeah, he went on after that to go to the Broncos, Denver.
Right.
And
Cowboys.
then to Georgia Tech. I think that was the last time I heard about Chan. So I'm not sure where Chan is right now, but his success started here at Troy when we were Division II. With now Troy's Division I.
Yes.
Actually, he left and went to the USFL.
Oh, USFL, that's right.
He was
That's
Birmingham's coach.
Okay, cool. All right, last question, and we're gonna wrap it real quick. Slick, who you got Super Bowl this year, man? Who you got taking it all?
Actually, I would prefer Baltimore and Philadelphia.
Okay. Who you got, G?
Well, I'm going to shock a few people because as well as the Miami Dolphins are playing, I don't think they got enough to sustain it through the playoff. My pick's going to be Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. And I've been observing G this weekend, y'all. Scientific. He's a whiz. Nope. He got paper, pen, magazines. Tim, Chicago?
Well, my Bears definitely won't be in it. But, yeah, I'm pulling for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not even sure who would be on the other side of the coin, but I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah. Even though they don't look as good, and the Travis Kelce thing and the Taylor Swift thing, in my opinion, it's a distraction. I wish they would just shut that down. I'm going with the Chiefs. But they got some distractions, man. And I don't know if when they lost, what's my man in Miami right now? Catching everything, the receiver.
Oh, Tariq.
Oh.
Yeah, Tariq Hill.
I don't think they've replaced him, man. I don't see it. And I think it makes a difference. I mean, because Kelce, again, I think Kelce, even though I know this is a long shot, man, I think the Kelce Taylor Swift thing, in my opinion, it's a distraction. Dude. I mean, I hope he can, because when he's out, it's already proven it's a different team. So he's got to keep his head on. If he can keep his head on straight, man, and Mahomes can keep his ankle healthy, I think they can win it. I think they're going to win it all again. But that's my pick. Yeah. Any last words before we wrap, y'all? I'll start with you, G, go to Tim, and then I'll wrap it up with the man, the one and only Slick.
But I just want to say, if you hadn't made it back to homecoming here at TSU, which is now Troy, do your best to get back. You're going to see some amazing people that you hadn't seen in a long time. That was a great part of your life and definitely a part of mine.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Tim.
Great weekend. Shout out to Slick or James, Mr. TSU. Bako, thanks for having us on the podcast. It's been a blast, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Slick.
Yeah, I enjoyed everything about the weekend. A lot of camaraderie. A lot of people came back this year that I haven't saw in, I guess, 40 years.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing Tim since 86.
Wow. So, man, I really do, James, Slick, dude. I mean, words can't express, man, because, when you get memories, man, memories are priceless, man.
Yeah.
So when you have the opportunity to make memories, man. So thank you, my brother.
And if I could say one more thing, Thomas, we want you to know we appreciate you for letting our voices, our hearts, our memories be expressed over the airways. Man, you've done a great job ever since the first day I met you, I've been inspired about you.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Now I'm gonna give you your money. That check is in the mail, brother. For that,
I want everybody to know that Thomas was my roommate.
You got a story? No. That you can share?
And Tim was Gary's roommate.
Oh, boy. I put Slick to sleep some nights. He's like, shut up, dude. What you talking about, man? I've been running track all day.
Yeah, all that intellect.
I don't know about that. Crying. First year. But, man, I got to say, man, and can we shout real quick the collective, man? We took a picture. Who was like, I know it was us four. Rudy. Rich. Who else? Harold.
Vi and Mike Smith.
Vi and Mike. Congrats to those guys. They were Alpha Phi Alpha. Brock. Matthew
Calvin Ballard.
Yeah. Who else? We miss anybody else?
I think that's all that was here.
That's all that was here, man. But I got to shout
Rudy.
those. Yeah, and I'll make sure I post a picture on this episode. I just do have to say, I can't thank you guys enough, man. It's been the weather was amazing. It was a phenomenal weekend for, just weather perfect. Being in the 90s, dropping into the 70s or upper 70s.
Right.
Sunshine. It was a perfect weekend, man. So I just want to say thank you guys. And thank you for coming on. Hopefully, we'll do this again. Slick, G, Tim, thank you, man. Again, brothers, my Smurf brothers.
That's right.
No, thank you.
Thank you. That's right.
Yeah, Smurf for life, man. This is the G Podcast. Just want to thank you guys for coming on. And let's hit the road, bro. Let's do it.
We out.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.